The United States Navy once struggled to hide its submarines because of a 2-inch shrimp. During World War II, Navy operators monitoring the Pacific Ocean picked up a wall of noise so intense it was masking the acoustic signatures of enemy vessels. They searched for the source. They expected machinery. They expected explosions. What they found was a crustacean smaller than a human thumb, hiding in the shallow reef beds. And its weapon, a single claw snap, was generating one of the most violent physical events produced by any living animal on Earth. This is the pistol shrimp. And by the end of this video, you will understand why physicists study it, why navies document it, and why the ocean is never as quiet as it looks. The pistol shrimp belongs to the family Alphidae, a group of roughly 600 known species distributed across tropical and subtropical oceans worldwide. Most of them measure between 1 and 2 inches long. They are not brightly colored, they do not have venomous spines. To any diver glancing at a reef, they are invisible. But hidden inside that unremarkable body is one of the most mechanically efficient weapons in the animal kingdom. A claw so disproportionately large, it makes up roughly half the animal's body weight. That claw is not built for gripping. It is built for one thing only: firing. Inside the claw, there is a small plunger-like structure, a biological hammer that can be cocked back and locked under muscular tension. When the shrimp releases it, the hammer snaps shut so fast the human eye cannot track it. We are talking about claw closure at approximately 60 to 100 kilometers per hour in a fraction of a millisecond. But here is where the physics starts to break the rules of what biology is supposed to be capable of. When that claw slams shut, it does not kill by impact. The shrimp is not touching its prey. What it fires is a jet of water, accelerated so violently that the pressure behind it drops to near vacuum levels. That low-pressure pocket forms a bubble, a cavitation bubble. And for one brief moment, less than 1 millisecond, that bubble collapses with enough energy to reach temperatures of approximately 8,000 degrees Fahrenheit. For context, the surface of the sun sits at roughly 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. A 2-inch shrimp is briefly generating heat approaching the surface of the sun. In your ocean, in the shallows. Right now, somewhere off the coast of Florida or the Great Barrier Reef, this is happening thousands of times a minute. And that is not even the most remarkable part. When the cavitation bubble collapses, it does not just generate heat. It releases a flash of light, a phenomenon called sonoluminescence. A shrimp snap produces a measurable, visible burst of light underwater. Scientists are still debating the exact mechanisms involved. It is one of the few biological processes that directly generates plasma. The fourth state of matter, the same state found in lightning and stars, a shrimp plasma biology should not allow this. Back to the Navy. When those operators in the Pacific heard that overwhelming wall of noise, they were not hearing one shrimp. They were hearing millions of them. Pistol shrimp are not solitary hunters. In productive reef environments, they exist in extraordinary densities. Dozens, sometimes hundreds of individuals packed into a single square meter of reef. Every one of them snapping throughout the day and night. A single pistol shrimp snap registers at approximately 218 decibels underwater. A gunshot registers at around 140 to 160 decibels in air. A rocket launch at close range sits near 180. The pistol shrimp, in its medium of water, exceeds both. A colony of pistol shrimp generates what is called biological noise, a continuous broadband acoustic interference that scrambles passive sonar readings. During World War II, submarine commanders learned to use reef zones as acoustic cover, parking vessels near pistol shrimp colonies to make them harder to detect. The ocean's most advanced stealth technology, exploiting a crustacean. The pistol shrimp does not use its weapon to defend territory, though it will. Its primary purpose is predation, and watching it hunt is like watching a physics demonstration. The shrimp positions itself within range of a target. A small fish, a crustacean, a worm emerging from the sand. It takes aim, if aim is the right word, for an animal with no clear line of sight in most circumstances. And it fires. The shockwave hits the prey before the prey has any capacity to respond. Fish do not have reaction times measured in fractions of a millisecond. The concussive force stuns them, sometimes kills them outright, and the shrimp moves in to collect. The whole sequence from snap to capture takes less time than a human blink, and once the prey is inside the burrow, it does not come back out. Here is where the pistol shrimp becomes even more interesting. Many species form a permanent symbiotic partnership with a small fish called the goby. The arrangement works like this. The shrimp is nearly blind. It can detect light and shadow, but has limited spatial vision. The goby has sharp eyes and sits at the burrow entrance as a full-time lookout. The shrimp maintains constant physical contact with the goby through its antennae. When the goby detects a predator, it flicks its tail, a single physical signal. The shrimp retreats instantly. When the coast is clear, the goby signals again and excavation resumes. Two completely different animals, no shared evolutionary lineage, no common language, and yet they have developed a communication system precise enough to keep both of them alive in one of the most predator-dense environments on the planet. A creature that generates plasma, jams military sonar, and still found time to invent friendship. The pistol shrimp has been studied intensively for decades, and researchers are still finding new questions faster than answers. The sonoluminescence, that flash of light during the snap, remains one of the more contested phenomena in bioacoustics. Some researchers have proposed that the temperatures inside the collapsing bubble may briefly reach even higher than current estimates. The measurement problem is significant. The event lasts less than a millisecond and occurs in a moving, turbulent environment. Capturing it accurately requires high-speed cameras operating at tens of thousands of frames per second. What is not in dispute is the output. The shockwave is real, the temperature spike is real, the sonoluminescence is real, and the animal producing it evolved this system not in a laboratory but across millions of years of reef predation. With no physics degree required, the Alphidae family dates back to at least the Cretaceous period, over 65 million years ago, which means the pistol shrimp was firing plasma bubbles while dinosaurs were still walking the Earth. So here is the answer to the question we opened with. Why did the United States Navy fear a 2-inch shrimp? Because nature does not care about the scale of your technology. A crustacean that evolved its weapon system 65 million years ago, operating on pure physics, produced enough acoustic interference to compromise some of the most sophisticated listening equipment humanity had built. Not by intent, not by strategy, just by existing in large numbers and doing what it has always done. One snap, a pressure wave, a cavitation bubble, a flash of light hotter than most stars. A dead fish, and somewhere in a military archive, a report that nobody quite believed when it was first filed. The ocean's shallows are not peaceful. They are loud, violent, and full of animals that are better at physics than we give them credit for. The pistol shrimp does not know it's remarkable. It is simply doing what it was built to do, and somewhere right now, in warm, shallow water, it is doing it again. If the ocean's smallest weapons fascinate you, make sure you subscribe, because next time we are looking at an animal that does not snap, does not sting, and does not bite. It dissolves its prey from the inside out, without ever touching it. You do not want to miss that one. 1. 600 species in family Alphidae. 2. Large claw comprising roughly half body weight. 3. Claw closure speed, 60 to 100 km. 4. Cavitation bubble temperature, 8,000 degrees F. 5. Sun's surface temperature, 10,000 degrees F. 6. Sonoluminescence as a named phenomenon in pistol shrimp snaps. 7. Plasma generation claim. 8. 218 decibels for a single snap. 9. Pistol shrimp density per square meter in reef environments. 10. WWII submarine acoustic cover, specific historical claim. 11. Near blindness of pistol shrimp, limited spatial vision. 12. Cretaceous-era fossil record for Alphidae, a 65 million years. 13. High-speed camera frame rates required for measurement.